Okay, it's now Tuesday, November 17th, 6:30 p.m. We'll call to order the Grant County Fiscal Court meeting. We're going to be doing it by Zoom. And if I can have Pat call roll.
Master Riley?
Present.
Master Coldar?
Present.
Master Humphrey?
Present.
And Judge Dills?
Present. Moving down to approval of the minutes, present for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting dated November 3rd, 2020, and the special meeting dated November 6th, 2020.
Having reviewed the minutes for the previous meeting, I'll make a motion to approve as written.
I second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by raising your hand and saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to fiscal matters. Item number 1, present for review a motion to approve the claims drawn on the general fund, road fund, jail fund dated November 17, 2020, and November 3rd's election poll workers claims, along with the transfers as presented.
I make a motion to approve the claims this evening dated November 17th against the general fund, road fund, jail fund, along with the for the poll workers presented this evening.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye and raising your hands.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Did she include the transfers?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion carries. Moving down to ordinance. Item number 1, present for second reading and approval of ordinance number 0008-2020-0244 relating to the amendment to the Grant County Planning and Zoning map for application of John and Linda DeWalt, along with the notice to be posted in the local paper showing adoption if approved.
I present for a motion, a second reading and approval of ordinance number 0008-2020-0244 relating to an amendment as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion made by Magistrate Codar, a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye and raise your right hand.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2 is present for first reading of ordinance number 0009-2020-0245, an ordinance enacting an adoption of supplements to the Code of Ordinance of the County of Grant, Kentucky, along with the notice to run in the local paper showing a second reading will be held on December 1st, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. or soon thereafter as possible. Moving down to new business.
I need a.
Do we need to make the motion?
Yeah, to run that ad in the paper.
So move as read by Judge Dills pertaining to the Code of Ordinances.
I second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by saying aye and raising your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, present for review, approval and changes and additions to the Grant County Detention Center policy and procedure manuals with revisions to the inmate handbook effective November 10th, 2020. So everyone had a chance to look at the changes made to the jail's policy book.
Yeah, I did. This is mostly reference to COVID.
It is correct.
Yeah, and that the changes were required mostly for it. So I make a motion to review and approve changes and additions to the Grant County Detention Center policy and procedures manual and revisions to the inmate handbook effective November the 10th, 2020.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Codar and a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye, raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to reports, the jailers here at the courthouse, I'll give you the numbers of the inmates at the jail. We have 34 county inmates and we have 200 state inmates, so they are slowly increasing. Of the 200, we have 52 of them in the SAP program, 37 of them in the SOAR program out of that 200, and we still have 100 beds available, correct? Yeah, 100 more beds available on the contract, and
Well, a little under 100.
they're supposed to be getting in. You have some more coming?
I had some come in today that's in them numbers.
Okay, he had several come in today, so
Now, is this, when you say on the contract, you're talking about the state contract or the SAP contract?
the SAP contract.
How many do we have now on the SAP contract? We got 52, but what's our max on that?
Between
Did it-
SOAR and SAP, we'll have 180 in.
Between SOAR and SAP, we'll have 180 inmates,
Okay.
which gives a total of 234 currently at the jail.
That's excellent, Mr. Webster.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, he heard you. Thanks. Moving down to the judge executive report. First, I want to remind everybody, December the 3rd, between 10 and 2, here at the courthouse, they'll be giving free flu shots to any one of you that wants free flu shots. If you know anybody in the public, that's wanting to get a shot, we had to tell them how many numbers. I know they've got at least 20 vaccine, but if we know the numbers are going to increase a little bit more, then we'll get it out. They said they would come back and set up at other locations if more of the public wants to get flu shots. So pass that along.
Do you know, are they currently setting up anywhere else or just at the courthouse at this time?
They're doing December 3rd here at the courthouse, and then they're going to the jail, and the date's not confirmed, but it's going to be sometime December, of doing all the inmates, any of the deputy jailers, and the sheriff's office.
And I guess it's at the consent of the inmates if they want it.
That's correct. And they're not only doing the flu shots at the jail, they're going to do hepatitis shots also.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a grant that was funded to the Kentucky Immunization Program, and they'll be coming up from Frankfurt to do the vaccines. Also, I just want to touch base. I spoke, and I know Roger was on the Zoom meeting. I spoke yesterday morning at the chamber, just iterating that the COVID numbers, we are now in the red, and for the past week, COVID numbers are still increasing, not only in our county but statewide. We keep just letting everybody know that you need to maintain distance, keep your hands and stuff clean, wear your face mask. And, the number one thing that I notice is if people's not feeling well, don't get out, stay at home. We've been fortunate, knock on wood, we haven't had anybody here at the courthouse, and I hate to say that's tested positive for COVID. And sure enough, I say that it'll happen tomorrow, but,
Of course.
and I think a lot of it, we're just able to maintain our distance here in the building, and we don't have a lot of foot traffic. And if foot traffic did increase, we may have to restrict anybody coming into the courthouse. But right now, it's very rare we have anybody come into the courthouse building, and all the offices are pretty well isolated within the building. So we're using all the precautions we can, and we just recommending to the public. We're trying to get stuff posted on our Facebook with the same information from the health department. We're following all the guidelines by the experts. I don't claim to be an expert, and I don't know that any of you all may be experts on it, but that's why we rely on Dr. Sadler and her staff in the North Kentucky Health Department to lead us in the right direction. So with that being said, Roger, you have anything to add for magistrate reports?
Just noticing, we was talking about the COVID just adding to that, I was looking at the map this afternoon that was sent out, and just about the entire state is in red. So we're not isolated, and our numbers are nowhere near some of these other places. So we are following the guidelines as set forth by the Northern Kentucky Health Department. I think folks need to realize that we cannot mandate a lot of laws on people's freedoms and rights. We can't do it. The health department has that power, but we don't as a fiscal court. A health department has a lot of powers, and I'm sure they're going to exercise them if they feel it's deemed necessary.
Yeah, Raj, I was telling Chuck today, an earlier tweet out of Frankfurt said 94 out of the 120 counties were red, and that was earlier today.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay. Anything, Jacqueline, you want to add before I move on to Shauna?
No, sir, just, doing general follow-ups pertaining mostly to roads, and we've got some additional follow-ups to get to Cincinnati Bell in regards to some folks on some of the roads that have raised their hand that want added to the running county list that we're keeping to help be a liaison as we think of broadband. I also, just in my day job from an HR standpoint, wanted to recognize, that, the action plan to combat this is to follow the CDC guidelines in the local health department. And what I'm experiencing, to your earlier comment, Chuck, is in regards to folks not staying in if they're not feeling well and have the symptoms. And then there are some of us who are likely younger that may still feel good, even though we have the symptoms, but we should be staying home. And that's also not, being taken as serious as it could. And one thing that they've coined right now in the environment, especially in the workforce, is this phrase at COVID fatigue. Folks are getting laxed. They're getting wore out. They're tired of staying in. And there just needs to be that reminder that we need to continue this journey, that we're not out of the woods yet. And we don't need to lax, following those recommendations, such as even if you feel okay and you have those symptoms, you should still stay in. So.
Okay. Shauna?
I'm glad to report that Cash Drive on Ridge Road, they've completed the blacktop over there and they're shouldering it now. The road department is. Also, I've had inquiries on Warsaw Road about the siren tower. I just want to assure the public, that is on our radar, and we will keep following up on that, and it should be installed pretty soon. Don't have a definite date. That's about all I got.
Okay, well, thank you. Moving down to citizens address. We have Dave Rose on. It looked like Debbie Lucas Angel. Either one of you have any comments or concerns?
Turn on your cam so we could see you. Oh, there's Debbie.
David, anything you have? Okay, moving down to our last thing on the agenda is the adjournment. This is a quick, short meeting, and I don't like doing Zoom, but we're forced to do it for the safety, and it does speed the process up when we do it this way, but it's just not the way to do it for a public meeting. With that being said, our next meeting is December 1st, 2020 at 6:30, and we'll be doing it, I'm sure, by Zoom in December's meeting, so go on and count on it. But with that being said, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
So move. Second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye and raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now adjourned. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight.